guys, welcome back to the Nightly Whispers, and today I thought I would do my very first, believe it or not, Q&A. Now, I've done something similar a long time ago. I did a 50 odd questions, but that was like 6 months ago I think. So I thought today I would ask on Facebook for all you lovely people to send in your questions, which you did, and I'm very grateful for it. So, yeah, I'm going to answer some of your questions. If you've got a question for me, even after I've done this video, you can still come on Facebook, ask your question, and I'll be happy to answer it. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, then I'll leave a link in the description. But yeah, just come say hi. So yeah. So I'm gonna make a start on answering some of your questions. There's probably about 20 questions. But let's get through them. So the first question came from Donna ASMR, and she says, if you had the chance to be a woman for one day, what would you do? That's quite a tricky question really, because I suppose you wouldn't really do anything differently, would you? I mean, I guess we'd go shopping. Not like guys don't go shopping now, but yeah. I don't know. One moment. Okay. Just getting some more questions coming as I speak. Okay, so the second question comes from Anthony, and he asks, what do I do for a living? Well, I work from home, and I build and set up computers, like desktop computers, and I sell them, pure and simple. I also sell like accessories and stuff like that, like multimedia stuff, the HDMI leads, and all the cables and stuff for your computers and stuff, and things like styluses, like little pens and stuff like that for your touchscreen devices and that kind of thing. So, yeah. Christine asked, she says, I like you, do you like me too? Yes, I like everybody. Everybody who watches my videos, everybody who's on Facebook, I like you all. Brooke asks, tell us how you discovered ASMR. That's a really good question, and it's one that a lot of people ask. So, yeah, I basically discovered ASMR by simply searching for binaural sounds. I love sound effects and visual effects like animations and stuff like that. And when I was younger, probably about 10 or 12, probably a little bit older, my brother had shown me well, it was on YouTube, but it was just a sound, and I'm sure you're all familiar with it, but it was the virtual haircut. And when I heard that, I thought, wow, this is amazing. And I was on YouTube wondering what to watch. A couple of years ago, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. And I thought I would try and search for that video again. So I typed in binaural, and I did eventually find the video, and it was incredible. And I wanted more of that because it felt really awesome. So I continued searching, and through searching those videos I stumbled upon ASMR. And at first, when I was watching it, kind of didn't really understand what it was about. But it's one of those things where you started to watch it and you couldn't turn it off. You'd have to continue to watch it and carry on until the end. And when you got to the end, you wanted more. I can't remember exactly who the first person was, unfortunately. But I know one of the first ASMR artists I subscribed to was the Lyrical Whispers, who just happens to be a good friend of mine, so yeah. So basically, watching ASMR videos, I wanted to know more about it, so I did a little bit of research to find out exactly what it meant, and by doing that I kind of realised some of the feelings I used to get when I was at school, such as if I was seeing someone rustling some papers or like file sorting or something like that, then you'd get that feeling, those tingles and whatnot. And at the time you think, it's just weird, I'm the only one this is happening to. You never spoke of it. So when I found this and I understood what it was, it kind of made me feel really great and thought, yes, I'm not the only one. I'm not a weirdo. So, yeah, I started searching for more, and I started subscribing to a lot of people, and started to watch ASMR videos all the time, every night, 3 or 4 every night. You become hooked on it. And yeah, I kind of wanted to give back to those people, and try and create those experiences for you. So hopefully, by watching my videos, you might get tingles, you might become relaxed, and they might help you sleep. Hopefully, that's the key to the channel. So yeah, ASMR is an incredible experience, it really is. I think I went a little bit off topic there, but oh well. Bodhi asks, what is your favourite quote? I don't really know any quotes. I kind of, well, there's one that I kind of really like, and it's basically, to appreciate the good in life, you have to witness the bad. And I don't know whether that's a quote or a motto or whatnot, but it kind of means a lot because, I mean, if there was no sadness in the world, if sadness didn't exist, then none of us would be happy because we wouldn't have anything to compare it to. So when you are feeling sad, you can kind of appreciate that as well, because you know that it's going to get better, and when it does get better, you really do appreciate it. So I think having equal measures of both is a good thing, although when you're in a bad place at the time it doesn't, but having that hope, knowing that it's going to get better, is a real great feeling. Alberto asks, what is your favourite song? My favourite song at the moment is from a group called Clean Bandit. Now some of you may be aware of them, but they are sort of, at the moment they're kind of up and coming, but they have basically hit the charts by storm. They've got like 2 or 3 songs in the charts right now, so they've basically just gone mainstream really. And 1000 subscriber special, I actually used one of their songs for the music. And what I really love about Clean Bandit is they have this incredible thing they do in every song where they include this violin and they incorporate it in such an incredible way. Clean Bandit tend to do a lot of dance, happy, feel good music, and the way they incorporate the violin is out of this world. It really is phenomenal. And one song in particular I like at the moment of theirs is Extraordinary. I would highly recommend you YouTubing that and giving it a watch. But it's Clean Bandit Extraordinary. The violin is magical. So yeah. The next question is from Voice of Sam, who asks, what was your favourite video to make and why? That's a good question. It's a really good question. It's a hard question too. Well, one of my favourite ones was my 1000 subscriber special. I went to the River Humber and I was getting all sorts of footage, and I was listening to the music that I was going to play in that video, and I was trying to picture what I would want in that video, and what kind of visuals I'd want in it. And so I went and filmed a bit of my journey. There was one scene where I was walking through the tunnel, and that got a lot of interest, and people was asking questions like, how did I get that? And I basically simply put the camera down, ran off, and then walked towards the camera again. It's not really that populated where I was filming, so luckily there was no one there to steal the camera or whatnot. So, but another favourite one was my last video I did, which was the Mission Rescue sci-fi roleplay, the finale. And the reason why I enjoyed that so much, basically because it's probably one of my most proudest videos. It was the first time I'd ever done any animating, and the first time using new software, and it took me 3 weeks to make, simply because most of that time was researching. I would get an image in my head of what I would like to create, and I would then look to try and find out how I could go about doing that. So there was one particular scene that I was really, really proud of, and that was the final scene. I'll try and play it now, if it works, if my editing skills are there. But as you can see, you're in this kind of space shuttle cockpit, whatever you want to call it, and you have all these boulders, rocks, meteors, whichever you want to call it, I don't know, travelling through space, and it was actually really, really fun to make. Basically, what I would do is I would get the Earth, and I would basically create, if you see the stars in the top, there's 3 stars, there's the red one, the yellow one in the middle, and there's a blue one in the right. They're basically lens flares that I put in and put them right at the back of the picture. And what I would then do is create a light source and overlay onto that lens flare, depending on what colour the lens flare was, the star, whatever you want to call it. That light source would match that colour, and then as you look at the rocks, or the meteors or whatever, you can see that light shining onto them, which creates that more dynamic surrounding, And I was very, very proud of that, and when I created it I thought, yes, that looks amazing. For me personally, the first time I've ever done any animation, I was really, really happy with that. So yeah, I think that's definitely one of my proudest videos. But anyway, the next question is from Brittany. I'm sorry if I get any of your names pronounced wrong, I'm so sorry. They ask, what's your favourite animal? That's kind of a tough question too, because I love all animals in general. But I suppose I'd have to say cat, simply because I have a pet cat and he makes me laugh a lot. It's just hilarious. I sound like a crazy cat guy now, don't I? Oh well. Jade asks, what is your biggest ASMR trigger? Well, one of my biggest ones is basically like file sorting, rustling paper, newspaper and stuff like that. I think mainly because that was the one that triggered me when I was younger in school. So every time I hear that, it kind of brings back all those memories as well. So I guess that's one of my biggest triggers. Brianne asks, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? I guess I wouldn't mind going to America. I have family in Tampa Bay in Florida, so I wouldn't mind going there, or even Australia. Going to see some of the coral reefs and stuff, it's beautiful. But at the same time, I love living in Britain. There's parts of Britain that is just absolutely beautiful. If you follow me on Facebook or friends with me on Facebook, then you would have known that me, Charlie the Lyrical Whispers, Lindsay Euphoric Whispers and David Deeply Relaxing, we went to Newquay in Cornwall a couple of weeks back, and it was so much fun, so much fun. I got really bad sunburn as well, but it's kind of going now. But yeah, I mean, it was stunning. You could see it was straight through the ocean. It was crystal clear waters, beautiful, Caribbean-like, honestly. And there's like rocks and cliffs and little islands out in the ocean, and it was just beautiful. Everywhere we went, it was just in awe, really were. And all the countryside around it as well. It's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, Britain's a beautiful place, just like anywhere else in the world. Everywhere is beautiful if you know where to look. Seaside Whispers asks, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why? I guess I would love to fly. I guess that's a boring superpower, isn't it? Because everyone says that, but could you imagine just that freedom of being able to go anywhere around the world, and that feeling of flying through the sky in that peaceful, tranquil sort of surrounding and looking down at the views and stuff? It'd be incredible, really would be incredible. So yeah, I'd definitely have to say flying. Kevin asks, favourite kind of pie? Well, I'm going to go for a dessert kind of pie and say apple pie. My mum makes an incredible apple pie. She has a apple tree in her garden, and because it's so fresh when she makes it, it's just incredible. So yeah. Charming ASMR asks, do you prefer soft spoken videos or whispered videos. That one, I would suppose, depends on the person you're watching, because sometimes when you hear a certain person whisper, oh, it's just incredible, beautiful sound, and it just gives you tingles. But then others have a very incredible tone to their voice, and a softly spoken voice sometimes, it just really just drops you to sleep straight away. So it kind of depends on the person, really. But I don't mind either. I kind of like both, so I don't really have a favourite. Thomas asks, in relation to your 1000 subscriber special video, what editing software did you use? Okay, so there's 3 questions in this, so I'll answer each one at a time. The editing software I used for that particular video was Sony Vegas. I don't use that anymore because I had a lot of problems with that. When I was editing that particular video, I got to the final scene and it all went wrong and I lost everything, so I had to start all over again from scratch. So after I made that video and I got a few more problems on some other videos, I kind of decided, right, it's probably the best for me in time to change software. And then I went to Adobe products. I now use Adobe Premiere for my editing. It is quite a basic editor, but for effects and stuff like that I use After Effects. But it's so much more better. It's so much better. It's packed with more features and just generally better quality. So yeah. There's a few questions from Christine. The first one is, do you smoke? No, I don't. I used to about 2-3 years ago. I can't remember when it was exactly. I think it's about 2.5 years ago. Actually, I think it's getting on to 3 years now. I can't remember. But giving up, I never felt better. If I'm drinking with my friends, or, I may have the odd crafty cigarette, as a social smoke kind of thing, but I tend not to, I don't like having addictions and stuff like that. Nobody does, but, yeah, so, no, I don't smoke. Do you have a driver license? No, I don't drive a car. I will hopefully be soon. There's a lot of pressure because my granddad passed his driver's license first time, my dad passed his driver's license first time, and my brother's passed his driver's license first time. So I feel like I need to pass it first time too. So when I'm ready, I'm not gonna lie, I can drive. I have driven before, but on private land. Disclaimer. So yeah, when I'm ready, I will try and put in for my driver's license, do a few lessons and stuff, and eventually get a car. What's your favourite dish? Food. I'm a sucker for curry. I love curry. I love chicken korma. I know it's, typical sort of what people say, but, I love it. Wow, this next question's kind of deep. It's from, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, I'm so sorry. Buitri. I'm so sorry, I really don't know. He said, how would you describe death? Oh wow. I guess guess it's kind of an inevitability, but also part of the circle of life. It's one of those things that a lot of people are afraid of, even though it's one of the most common things that happen on Earth. But, you know, it happens, and there's nothing you can do. It's just a circle of life, and if it didn't happen, well, the world would be different, and it would probably be a bad thing. So, you know. Another question is, do you have any siblings, and which one are you? Well, I do have some siblings. I have 2 older brothers, 1 younger brother and 1 younger sister, so I am the middle child, which is the most unique and special, of course. I'm the only one, other than my dad, who has blue eyes, so I'm also my parents' blue-eyed boy. You know, because it makes sense, I'm the best. Erica asks, if you could belong to any fictional world, what would it be and why? Wow, that's an incredible question. Some amazing questions tonight. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna say Harry Potter. I mean, let's face it, who wouldn't want to go to Hogwarts? I mean, come on. Just want to meet nearly headless Nick. Yeah, I mean, that'd be incredible to be able to learn magic and that. I mean, I know, you have to look out for, Voldemort and stuff, but comes with the job, I suppose. Last couple of questions. Cookie Whisperer asks, is this your first ASMR channel, or have you done videos before? This is my first ever YouTube channel. I've never done it before. I love making videos. It's just really, really fun to do. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I really enjoy getting to know a lot of people and meeting new friends and stuff. It's an incredible experience, really, really is, and I'm so proud and happy to be a part of it. So yeah. Would you change the place you live? And if you do, where would that place be? Well, I do want to move. I want to basically go back down to the south of England. I was originally from London, or just on the outskirts of London, but I now live in Yorkshire. I would love to go back. Not that there's anything wrong with Yorkshire. I just a southerner at heart, and I want to go back down to my roots. I also have a lot of friends down there as well, so going back down there to see them would be amazing. So yeah. And Leighton asks another question. Do you believe in love at first sight? Love at first sight is a tricky question, really, isn't it? Because you don't fall in love with someone purely by sight. Yeah. It's more about getting to know that person, isn't it? And falling in love with their personality, who they actually are. But if you mean first sight is as in first meeting, like first coming in contact and having a chat and getting to know each other, then definitely, yeah. I think when you meet someone, normally within the first few conversations you start to realise I like this person, So yeah, I mean, love at first sight in that sense, definitely. But just on sight alone, I think there's a difference between love and being attracted to someone. So yeah, I have two more questions. What is the scariest thing you have ever had to face? Scariest thing. Probably when a spider jumps out at you. I kid you not. I almost have a heart attack. That's probably the scariest thing I have ever had to face in my life. Ever. Full stop. And that was a terrible answer. The last question is, how old are you? I'm 23. Nothing else to it. So yeah, that is just some questions. Thank you everybody who asked the questions. I really appreciate it. I love getting to know people and talking to people, and I find it really, really fun. So yeah, if you have any other questions that you just dying to ask me, I'm in a weird mood tonight, I'm sorry. Yeah, come and be friends with me on Facebook, ask some questions, and I'll be happy to help, happy to answer any questions, as long as they're appropriate and asked respectfully, which I know all of you are, so, yeah, I'd love to meet you all, but that would be impossible, so the next best thing is to chat to you on Facebook or wherever else. Before I go, I just want to do a little update on what's been going on. Hopefully, new things to come for the channel. Hopefully, I was supposed to get my internet upgraded on Friday. Just gone. But unfortunately, because I'm basically going for it's state-of-the-art wireless internet that has a really high bandwidth, so you get really fast speeds and stuff. They basically put something on your roof and that receives the signal. When the engineer got here on Friday, they actually couldn't pick up a signal. Well, they couldn't pick one up at all. So, I had to then get on the phone to a different company who also supplies a similar service. And when I spoke to him on the phone, he said yes, by looking at their computer, they can supply me here where I live, but they can't be 100% sure until they're on my roof. So hopefully that's going to take about just over a week, I think, when they're coming. So, but what I'm trying to do is once I get the internet installed and it's upgraded and working fine, depending on what speeds I'm going to get, because like I said, they're not sure until they get on the roof, and then they'll tell me there and then. I want to be doing some ASMR live streaming, where I can be doing some live flashing or things like that, doing some role plays maybe, but live, which would be very, very interesting and probably funny when I mess up, but it'll be a unique experience because you'll be able to interact with me and I'll be keeping an eye on what you're saying, and if there's one particular thing that you would want me to see, you can ask it and I can do it for you there and then. So it'll be really, really cool and something that I really want to be able to do. It just depends whether I can get the internet set up here, because where I live it's very, very difficult to get internet. Very difficult. also want to be doing some other live streaming, probably some like gameplay, but not intense gameplay, try and keep it somewhat relaxing. Like there's some games out there that have some incredible visuals and stuff like that I'd love to incorporate into the channel. But of course, nearer the time I can speak to you on Facebook or on here and ask you what you would want to see, and we can go by that. And yeah, also having better internet will allow me to record with better quality and hopefully longer videos, so I could start doing hour-long videos rather than just a standard 20 minutes or half an hour what I normally do. Although this video is going to be quite long, it will take me most of the night to upload it, and that's the problem I have at the moment. So I have to film at 720p rather than 1080p, just so it's a smaller file, and I have to compress the file very, very slightly, just so it's easy for me to upload, and I don't like doing that because that suffers from quality loss, and I hate quality loss. So, but yeah, that's the plan in the future, hopefully soon. If you would like to see any changes or would like to see a particular roleplay or a particular video, then please drop a comment, get in touch with me, and I can definitely do that for you. I'm hoping there's going to be some epic awesomeness coming to the channel very soon, so definitely stay tuned for that. But I think I've probably rambled far too long and probably bored you all to sleep, which is probably a good thing, I don't know. But yeah, I guess I'll leave it there for now. I wish you all a fantastic and brilliant night's sleep, an awesome week, and an awesome day tomorrow. And I guess I will see you in the next one. So take care, guys. Bye bye.